Having a press conference on the steps of the education building with teachers, parents, and students who want to talk directly to Cuomo through the media to tell him to stop the cuts and save our schools.
I'm the policy director for the Alliance for Quality Education, but I'm also the mom of 2 school children that go to public schools here in the city of Albany. After having gone through a long process to actually reopen our schools safely and in a just manner, our school district here has had to change its plans because a week before the schools open, we learned that we have to face a 20% cut. Just like Albany, Schenectady, Troy, Utica, Rochester, Buffalo, New York City, Yonkers, Syracuse, all of these cities that actually provide the education for Black, brown, and low-income children are going to have to gut their programs and lay off teachers and nurses and school psychologists and counselors in the middle of a pandemic because our priorities, the governor's priorities, are not right. Budgets are about priorities. If we do not prioritize our children, nobody will. There are options here. The governor has options. There's a rainy day fund that we can tap into right now. Woo!
Okay. I'm also the past president of the Albany Public School Teachers Association. And yes, both my children are proud and successful graduates of the Albany Public Schools. I'm speaking today in solidarity with you to oppose Governor Cuomo's 20% cuts to school aid and to demand adoption of revenue-generating legislation to counteract the devastation of these cuts on students, teachers, families and communities across the state. Districts with children of colour and massive poverty have been historically underfunded and starved of resources. This has got to stop. The quality of any child's education should in no way, shape or form depend on his or her zip code. This is not an attack on Shenendehoe schools, but I was stunned to find out that that district now is able to fund all programs, maintain operations, pay all salaries and maintain an unappropriated fund balance of $7.2 million. Meanwhile, Albany has had to sustain a $20 million reduction in funding, switch to fully remote 7 through 12 for lack of funds.
Hi, my name is Sarah. So I work for Schenectady Middle School, and I'm also a member of the SFT, but obviously I don't speak for them. This week, I should have been setting up my classroom. I would have been greeting up my colleagues or sharing resources I developed to help students face the challenges of remote learning. As a young teacher, I was excited to start the year despite everything we were faced with, but not even 2 weeks before school, I heard the news. Our district was cut by more than $30 million. Last year, I spent every day opening up my home to my students, venturing into unknown territory as we began remote learning. Like many people, I found this incredibly difficult. Our district struggled to pay for increasing technological needs and delivering meals to students who would no longer get them. I saw families struggle to provide the education their children need, while also going out into the community as essential workers. Our reward for this has been an astronomical cut, devastating the entire district. Watching the Board of Education meetings leading up to this was like going to a funeral. Programs have been destroyed. You hear the number, 400 teachers were laid off, but what that really means is decades of progress decimated in one fell swoop. It means young, hungry, and diverse teachers like me losing their job. It means closing half the elementary schools. It means cutting all the anti-racism trainings and programs. The worst part about this is that it feels like no one cares outside those who are affected. This isn't national news, and other schools are seeing headlines like budget in great shape. Our kids have lives and dreams. They matter. Seeing cuts like this shows exactly how deeply rooted systemic racism is, even here. And that's why I'm asking for the state to take steps to reverse this cut. It is not too late to save our district. Woo! Right now, the state has $4 billion of reserves. Let's open that up. There are 14 proposals that will raise $30 billion. And if cuts are absolutely necessary, then distribute them equitably.
I'm an Albany High School student, and as a teacher and the union vice president in the Schenectady State Schools, I stand with my 2 feet firmly planted in 2 school districts that have been decimated by these cuts days before schools open.
Our schools have taken 20% cuts, funding cuts across the board. Is it right that our kids get 20% less education? We've got schools deciding not to open because they don't have the money. Cuts to funding shouldn't be the reasons that schools stay closed. So we've got a bunch of things to do. First of all, we need to use New York's rainy day funds now. This isn't a rainy day. I don't know what is. It's a freaking downpour, and our kids are getting soaked.